Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Today's episode is powered by Perfect Sports Nutrition. It's all about realistic head movement when it comes to mixed martial arts and kickboxing. In today's episode, we're talking about realistic head movement when it comes to kickboxing and MMA. And here at Bazooka Kickboxing, it's something that I teach as the last form of defense. What happens now is I teach the parrying, okay, which is one of my more popular ways. We have the head guard and then using the wedge, all right? So let's just quickly go through them so you can understand the differences. Now, Matt's just gonna throw 1, 2, 3 at me, right? So usually the first one is the parry because it's the longest. So 1, 2, 3. Now, I have videos talking about it, okay, from before, or you can head over to bazookatraining.com to get more info on the parrying and the head guard system. So parrying usually comes on the same side. So the jab comes, I parry here, here, and now I can catch outside. So parrying, I keep my hands away from my head, which is nice now because if the second way, I use the wedge. Sometimes if they're heavy hitters and my hands stay connected to my head, it can still shake my head. So usually using a balance of the parry, 1, 2, 3, versus the wedge, 1, 2, 3, okay? I'm very connected in mixing those. So once you've mastered those two, this is when I talk about head movement, okay? So with head movement now, the first thing you need to understand is the hand position, right? So when we were parrying, we want our hands high because if we keep our hands low for parrying, what happens now, I have to lift my hands, it's too slow, and there's a lot of travel. So usually with parrying, okay, Matt throws the 1, 2, 3, I can keep my hands a little higher here. And even if he goes to the body, right, I can come and move my way, kind of keep my balance, all right? So hands here. Now when I do wedge, okay, and my head guard, I keep basically the point of my gloves where I would create my devil horns, okay? So my hands stay here, and now when to defending, I use my elbows coming in front to block my center line. Okay, I could either keep it in one part here, block them all, or I can roll and move with them. But my hands stay on my head, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, go 1, 2, 3, rolling with it or staying stationary. However way you want to block with it, keep those hands planted on the head. Now, the head movement, you've mastered this now. You're comfortable. This is where head movement goes. And now, I almost kind of describe kickboxing and MMA head movement almost similar to like a Canelo Alvarez. And if you look at Canelo with kickboxing, I love it because he uses the high guard to kind of track you, close distance, good movement. He lateral track you against the rope, then he counters, right? But what he does well is he mixes in head movement with his high guard system, okay? So this is how I would like to use it a little bit more. Now, when we learn this, because everyone watching is at different levels, first thing you see when you start teaching head movement is people don't know where to put their hands. So this is the funniest one I see. So Matt will do a jab cross hook. The hands will be here because they don't know what to do with them, right? So that is the biggest no-no I want, okay? Because head movement, why it becomes very valuable, okay, is because one, you don't have to eat punches off your guard, off your hands, but you can move and put yourself in amazing positions to counter. So if Matt throws the jab, boom, I can counter. If he throws the cross, see, I'm put in positions where I can counter very well. So this is where head movement helps you, okay? So the basic punches and your hand position, okay, what I like to have is either one, right under my cheekbone, okay? I don't want to cover my eyes when I'm using head movement. And because I mentioned to you, head movement, right, really fuels counterpunching. So if I keep my hands here and I slip, I can't see, one, and two, it's very awkward to punch from your hands here. You want to punch from your cheekbone here to generate that full, nice rotational power, okay? So with head movement, I like my hands right under the cheekbone. Or if you're a little bit more advanced and slick with your hands, for beginners, I don't recommend this yet, is I can use a Philly shell with my head movement, okay? Because I can dip well, use the shoulder roll, and be able to counter back, okay? So those are your options. But for the sake of the video, and most people, even the highest level kickboxers, hands here. Now, what you learn is always getting the head outside, okay, with head movement. So with head movement, you can learn slipping, which means side. Okay, and then I can slip the other side. So again, 1, 2, using my feet. Now, the big mistake people make when they're using their slipping is they don't use their feet when they slip. So when Matt jabs, I'm slipping here, I've pivoted off this foot, and this foot's loaded to counter. Now, with the rear hand comes, boom. See how I twisted my back foot? It's not just moving the head, it's twisting the back foot here, because this way I'm loaded up to counter now. So whenever you move your head, okay, you have to be in a position to counter. So watching me from this angle when I'm here, boom, my back foot is on, now I could attack. If I'm slipping on this side, I pivoted on this foot to get my head offline to be able to counter. So boom, here, here. I'm under my feet, and my head's moving on top of this leg, head's on top of this leg, okay? Now, when I'm here with my weight on my back leg, I push off that back leg to generate power. When I slip on this side, my weight's here, my back foot is up, and now I can counter with power, okay? So that's the basic of slipping. Now, with slipping, you can go with the one, I can go outside, boom, I can go the other way, boom. And with slipping, right, you can also, I also like to do the pull. So if the jab or the hook comes, I can pull out, okay? So if Matt does jab, cross, hook, I can go 1, 2, pull out if I need to, okay? So again, if he goes like 1, 2, pull out if I need to, very similar. Now, another nice one you can add to this, right, is bob, right? You can bob underneath the punch. So Matt throws the jab, boom, I can get underneath. He jabs again, boom, he throws across, boom, right? So I can go down, boom, I can go out, boom, I can go the other way, bang, right? Hand staying here, I'm slipping, bobbing, pulling. Now, the other thing you can do is roll underneath the punch, and rolls come to nice under hooks. So now from here, he throws the lead, I'm rolling. But watch my feet. See how whether I'm punching, rolling, or slipping, my feet, my shoulders all have to make sense so I can counter now, okay? So the hook comes, I'm here. Weight is on my back foot now, so boom, I got power generation. Now when the rear hook comes, I roll. What did I do again? My shoulder is loaded, my back foot is loaded to attack. Too many times I see this. Watch my back foot. See how it's flat, collapsed arch? I got no power in my counter, so I need to be under my feet. So when I'm here now, look, loaded back foot, strong feet, strong toes, bang, I got my power in my rotation, okay? So you have one, the slipping, right? So I can slip, I can pull if I want to, I can bob, boom, I can slip here, boom, slip, or I can roll, lead hook here, watch my feet here. Now I roll the other side, roll my feet, strong back foot. Every time I'm in an ability to counter, okay? Now, what's gonna happen is I mentioned that there's different ways to do it. And the biggest mistake when people start moving their head now is they kind of get scared. So when the punch comes, they'll slip it, but kind of do this, right? I'm not in a great position to counter. My hips tucked in, my glutes not engaged, I can't really push off, no power, because they're scared of the punch. So one of the key things is just getting comfortable. So the one drill that I like to do to make sure you understand your distance when you move your head, because that's the important part. So when Matt jabs, boom, I like to be able to get my head offline, right, which is important from the punch, and I'm still gonna touch the body. It's not meant to put Matt out with a body shot, but what it does, it lets me move my head and put me in a reference position to know how far I need to be. So as soon as the jab comes, boom, I'm here. Now I'm in a better position. I'm not here where I was in the first time, right? And now I'm here, boom. Now he throws the cross, I shift my head here, and then I touch the body. But watch my back foot when I do this, okay? Boom, right? I'm here, weight's on this foot. Now when the other one comes, boom. Okay, look where I am. Ready to go, engaged on my back foot. That's very important. All right, so main thing, touching the body as Matt goes, so the distance, 1, 2, right? I can keep the rhythm if I want, and just understanding getting your head offline and then slowing down. Now, when you get more advanced, right, Matt can throw a single jab and I can go boom, boom. Then he throws the single cross, touch the body, boom, rip the hook, right? He can do jab, cross, maybe jab, cross, boom, and I can counter off of that one, right? So it all depends on what they're throwing. But the main thing I want you to get first before I end this video off with the main concept of it is when I'm slipping or rolling, I have to be in a position to counter, so it means here, 1, 2. So learning this basic motion of being able to turn my feet, my shoulders at the same time. My hip turns, my feet turn, and my shoulders. This lets me power punch, lets me block, and it lets me slip, okay? And it lets me roll. So learning to be able to move your feet with pivoting, okay? So as I pivot my front foot, my hip pivots, my shoulder turns. As I pivot the other way, my front foot turns the other way, my back foot pivots, now my rear shoulder's in front. Now I could punch, block, slip, or counter, okay, using the same type of footwork principle that gets my head offline, puts me in a good position to counter and power. So, now that I went through the basics, this video was about how do you use head movement for kickboxing and MMA. I wasn't going to do you the disservice of just jumping to this part. Learning and understanding that whole sequence before is very important. Now, once we're here, what I like to do is not have to move my head for all of the punches, right? So if I know, for example, you know, Matt likes a jab cross hook, okay? I might go jab cross, roll the hook only, right? Instead of me being in the position to do this, look how much vulnerable I am, okay? If we're just boxing, sure, but kickboxing and MMA, the least amount of times I have to put my head down here for the knee, boom, okay? That's what I don't want. Or if I'm trying to slip over here, maybe Matt throws a kick at the same time, boom. I'm walking my head into kicks and knees. So this is why I don't like you to slip all of the punches. So Matt can throw jab, cross, hook, hook, right? I can go boom, 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 bang, and attack off of this way, right? Or he might just throw a cross and I might come here for angles, right? I might use it as an angle attack right away. But to sit here and be able to move my head here and dipping here is not what I really love to see, okay? What I like to do sometimes, right? I don't mind keeping my hands up sometimes and just moving my head here. Like I like you to move your head on the outside, even with the guard, just to create feints and entries, okay? But ideally, if the first few punches, boom, I like to block, and then once I know it's here, I can roll my head to attack, okay? So that is the key. Using strong defense at first, okay, then finding the punches to go. If you're fighting someone really inexperienced and they're just throwing big singles, right? Say Matt just wants to bomb the big rear hook, you know? What I might do is feint a little bit, feint, and if I'm ready, see what I did first time? Look, I might block it, okay? Second time he throws it, I go because I know it's there now. So don't rely, my basic answer is don't rely on head movement as the number one when it comes to kickboxing and MMA. You're going to hear me say a lot, get your head off center line, which means here, feinting, moving, angling, okay? And then maybe when the punch comes, boom, I could move. It's just a jab, boom, I might be able to move in and attack. Boom, boom, right? I could attack. But the realistic thing is most people don't throw in singles, so you have to be careful, right? So maybe the first time, block with the wedge. He throws a jab, boom. Second time I block with a parry. The third time, boom, bang, bang. I can come in and attack off of that, all right? So understand that when it comes to putting your head down, you put yourself at risk of being kneed and kicked in the face. So yes, should you use your head movement in kickboxing and MMA? Absolutely. Is it mandatory? Yes, it's very mandatory to be able to understand it. But I feel those who use it too much end up putting themselves at risk to be able to get hit. So in my opinion, it's more intelligent to be able to use strong parrying, okay, good wedging, okay, and then mix in your head movement to be able to counter more effectively, okay? To be able to create different angles in offense, right? To get maybe inside, right? You might have to work your way inside with the head movement to pressure, right? So there's times and ways to use it, but just be very careful of getting that head down and low position for the kicks and knees. Now, even when it comes to the difference of rolling punches, how many times do you see in boxing, okay? Boxers are basically rolling here. You'll see a boxer roll basically from down here. They're rolling their punches here, which I would never recommend in kickboxing and MMA. But now, when I do get under punches, the main thing I see in a lot of even higher levels, do not roll your head down, okay? It works in boxing. In MMA, at least be here. See how I keep my head looking, okay? At least I'm not putting my face right down. At least here I can pull, I can move, and I can watch a little bit, okay? So make sure you keep your head, eyes up. Do not get into that big boxing habit of being able to look down on the floor, okay? I know they're still looking up, but too dangerous, not for kickboxing and MMA. All right, hope you enjoyed today's episode, which was brought to you by Perfect Sports Nutrition. Make sure you head over to HayabusaFight.com as well to be able to get all this nice new gear. BazookaShop.com for Bazooka merchandise. And we have BazookaTraining.com, where I give you 4 brand new training episodes every single week. Home workouts that you can do in your living room, bag workouts at the gym or at home, sparring drills and tutorials, so you get a full mix of Bazooka kickboxing and MMA curriculum on a weekly basis. Plus, we have the archive that's been going for months now, and it has over 100 different videos for you to practice and learn. All right, keep liking, subscribing, sharing, get your friends here on the channel, and let's grow Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Welcome to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA online training. I'm Bazooka Joe Valtellini, the owner here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Over the past year, I've designed and created a website to teach Bazooka curriculum at home and across the world. The purpose of this website is for you to, 1, hit your fitness and health goals, all while learning world-class martial arts instruction from me. The beautiful thing about this website, it's geared for all levels. So if you're learning martial arts for the first time as a beginner, we help you progress into the bigger stages. And if you're a pro fighter, guess what? We have different fight concepts for you to improve your tool set and your skills in the ring or cage. As the fastest rising kickboxing world champion and a lifelong martial artist with over 30 years of experience, I've been able to combine my passion for martial arts and teaching to create this website. This website is going to give you some of the tricks, secrets, and inside look at some of the training I use to win my world title. Once you subscribe to this site, you're going to be getting weekly training videos and tutorials that you can do from anywhere. The sections are broken up into 3 parts. The first is bag workout. So if you have a bag at home or at your gym, you can use these workouts to supplement your training. The second is at-home workouts. A lot of us don't have the room for a bag or a bag in general, so these workouts are for no equipment needed and you can do them anywhere. And finally, the tutorial section. If you're having any problems with a specific technique or fight concept that's covered in any of the workouts, go to the tutorial section, learn the technique, and then go back to the workout, and this time, do it with proper technique. One of the added benefits once you subscribe is the forums section, where you can get a more personalized experience where you can ask questions and I'll be able to go in there and answer them. It's all about building a team and a community of martial artists helping each other grow. So subscribe now to get access to all the videos plus more, so you can be part of the squad here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA.